Facebook family, Jack Yates family, I just like to say thank you for all of the support y'all gave me for my birthday. 68 years I'm with the people who I've been knowing all my life. Marvin Neal and Mr. Jerry Shepherd. And we had this very historical place to me anyway, is McGregor Park. Because when, this is the only park in our neighborhood, I was telling Jerry that, that we could go to back in the day other than the Emancipation Park. And when they integrated this park, man, it was a great feeling in 1965 or 64, one of those years. But anyway, I just want to thank y'all, man, and tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all being here with me on this day. And, I always looked at this, my birthday as our year. I started doing it in 1960. When I turned 60 years old, I looked at 1960. And then when I got 64, I thought about the year you and Sterling graduated from Yates. Then when I got 65, I thought about the year that Marvin graduated from Yates. And then last year was a real special year because it was 67. I finished in 67. I got married in 67, and I was 67 years old. And this year is 68, and this is why it's a special year to me, Jerry and Dew, because this was the year my son was born, Doohickey. More in January, he was born in 1968. 68 was a good year because it seemed like a lot of things went down in 68, Jerry. President, at least Martin Luther King getting assassinated, then Robert Kennedy getting assassinated. So 68 to me was a year that was a heck of a year. And then with me being 68, and I always, even from the time I was 13 years old, man, I always try to catch up with you and Doohickey. And I never could catch up, and I ain't gonna catch up. And now since y'all done live y'all 68 year, and both of y'all will have 69 in December, now I got to make it through my 68 year. Yeah, well then, what Doohickey, what can you say? He act like he's 30 because he on the tennis court every day. He feel like he's 30, Jerry. I got to make it. Yeah, but you still go out here on the tennis court every day. Hey, man, that's active. I wish I could be that active, but, it is what it is. But anyway, I just want to thank all the Facebook family, man, and, to let them know how far I done came through all the roller coaster rides I've been through, Jerry and Dew, and y'all been there all the time, man. And I think about Doohickey, man, because Jerry, I never told him this, man, is that his mother and my mother was like sisters. And before he was born, my mother, I would ask my mother a lot of this stuff, Doohickey. And I asked my mother, I say, Mama, tell me a little bit about Miss Neal. She say, well, when she met Miss Neal, she was pregnant with you. Right. And so when a water busted, she went to the hospital, and she was telling my mother, oh, I hope me and Punch, because that's what she would call your dad, we hope we have a little boy. Yeah. Because they already had 3 girls, Jerry. Right. So my mother and my father, they hadn't had any kids. So then my mother went to the hospital, and sure enough, you were born, the boy, Marvin. It just was, Jerry and my mother say Miss Neal was so happy, Mr. Neal was happy. By the way, my hat, that's okay, let me take my cap off. And anyway, they were so happy, Marvin. And my mother walked around saying, well, wonder when we gonna have a kid. And that following year, she was pregnant. Right. And Miss Neal went to the hospital with my mother, Jerry, and I was born. And then about 2 years, maybe 3 years later, Miss Neal get pregnant again. And me and Marvin like little brothers now, because he don't have any brothers. He got 3 sisters, but no brothers. And then Miss Neal and them was saying, and my mother and them was saying, well, I guess we'll have Marvin have a brother to do, and the little boy have him a little brother. And sure enough, she came out a girl. That was all. And then Miss Neal say, and then my mother asked Miss Neal, Jerry, she say, Myrtle, what you gonna do with all them girls now? And then she say, well, Lillian, one thing about it, Lisa Boo and Marvin to have them a little sister. Because everybody else was older than us. Right. So, you know, I just wanted to tell the Facebook family that. And then coming around, going to Blackshear, and then coming in with Jerry in the second grade. Jerry used to call it, what was it, 2 o'clock? Because everybody didn't get out at 3 o'clock. You had to be in the third grade or better to get out at 3 o'clock. Jerry, what would they call? What would you calling us at 2 o'clock to people? Because y'all was letting us cross the street. And I was at 2 o'clock. I was part of 2 o'clock chaps. And Jerry and Marvin then would hold what was that, Jerry, that you hold for us to cross the street?
Cane pole.
They was on the traffic patrol over at Blackshear. I'll never forget that, man. And I never forget that. And from there, me and Jerry and Marvin them, and especially Jerry, he brought me in just like I was a brother, like he had been knowing me. And we got to the YMCA, and boy, and it was so nice for us to be at the YMCA. Y'all was there before. I was a guest there at the YMCA, because you and Marvin had always been there. I came in there on the strength of Marvin. I had to ask I was so damn bad, Jerry. I couldn't do nothing without Marvin, because that's the only way my mother would approve for me to go anywhere. And Marvin asked Miss Lee, my mother, Miss Lee, can Boo go to the Y? And that's how I started coming to the Y. And then I started telling her I'm going to meet Marvin over there. And, and I think about it, Jerry, all the time, man. I say, man, I still owe Doohickey something for all the whippings. Because if he would have told my mother all the time I cursed out Carl and got my hand caught in the soda water machine, all those bad things I did at the YMCA, man, I would have been still catching whoopings, dude. But thank God he never told mama nothing. He looked it down on everything. And every time my mother would ask him, Marvin, how Boo been acting? Oh, Miss Lee, he been acting all right. Knowing he be lying, I said, damn, dude, man. I be having my fingers crossed here. I hope he don't say, Boo, now Miss Lee and Boo got into some trouble. He never said that, Jerry. And I really appreciate you, dude, for all that you done for me, man. Because, man, I'd have been still catching the whooping. You know my mother used to whoop my butt. I'm going to give him $1, y'all. Trust me, I'm going to give him $1, because I think about all them butt whoopings I would have been catching on Cobb Street. And then I think about our sister, man, Carolyn Land, man, because, she always been the sister to me that I never had, because she was our age bracket. See, Marcella and Barbara Jean, all the other girls was older. Yeah. Carolyn Lane was our age. Yeah. Somebody who we knew as a sister we could play with. In fact, that was the first girl I ever played with.
Yeah. That's right. On that block, everybody else was older.
Exactly. And then, then there was one that some younger, but our age, Carolyn Lane, and
BG liked us, he let us come, we could play with Gary.
Yeah, well, he liked it, y'all. See, I was always part of the family. right. BG, right, liked it, y'all. Yeah, he liked it, y'all. That's the reason why. But Miss Land and Mr. Land, and, I've always been part of the family. And I look back, Jerry, and see how blessed I've been, you and Marvin, man, to share this special moment with all these people on this Facebook, man, and this YouTube. Because when I left there, Jerry, let me just show you how God blessed me. And this is what this is about, is to show how much God has really played so much in my life. When I left there, man, and we moved from over there from the YMCA, we moved to a family that accepted me, and I love them to death. In fact, I can't do without them, man. And that's Kenna Ray Williams, Jean Carroll, and Pat Williams. Miss Melba was just like the mother I left on Rosewood, Miss Nia. Now I got Miss Melba. And man, Jerry, Miss Melba helped me so much, man. I can't describe how much Miss Melba have helped me, man. I mean, she was there after my mother left me in 1961. My mother became Miss Melba Hall. and Jean, Jody, and Lionel and Pat was just like the family of you and Jerry now. And I really appreciated that, man, especially when, like I say, when my mother left me. And at the time, Miss Melville had always gave me that strength that a mother would give me, because when I was on drugs, man, it was Miss Melville who told me, said, Boo, don't worry about it. You're going to come out of this. I didn't know how, but I came. And I got to tell this one joke, Jerry. You and Dookie never heard this. Okay, my teeth was hurting me one day, and I needed to see Lionel. And Lionel was sick. He was sick, but Miss Melville called him in to get this tooth out of my mouth. So I get in the dentist's office. Lionel mad because he had to come in, because Miss Melville used to work. His mother worked for him. And Lionel comes in, he already mad. He gets there, Boo, man, Boo Lee, man, you never could take no pain. That's why you never played football. And I'm just saying, Lionel, pull this goddamn teeth out. Oh, man, I don't want to hear. Yeah, man. And then he stuck me with his thing. He said, you feel that? I said, yeah, I still feel it, Lionel. Then he stuck me again. I still feel it. He said, okay, this time I know you ain't going to feel it. So he stuck me one time. He said, now, hold on, I'll be right back. Jerry came back, and he was so upset with it that you know, how timid that I was, that he just snatched it out of my mouth. And my mouth was swole, dude. Man, Jerry, this is so funny. My mouth was swole, man. And I was trying to talk to curse out Lionel, but I couldn't. And then I ran to the back, and Lionel was getting in his car because he knew I was mad. He was getting in his car, Jerry. He took out down post, so I took off behind.
You know what, Boo? That's the first time I've ever known you to be lost for words when you want to cut somebody out.
You know,
First time I've ever known that.
Yeah.
Look here.
I couldn't do. I tried, dude. I swear to God, I tried. I couldn't say, but my mouth was just swole up. And I tried to, and I told Jerry, and we're going to end this Facebook family, but I know that when we said that one, Jerry, I told him on that bad bully, on that video that I made up in Vegas, about how Marvin Dookie them knew I was catching the butt whooping that time I cussed out the ice cream man. See, they was down there by Leota's house. I know where they were. They were down there by Leo, and the ice cream man was coming from back towards Cleburne, going toward Rosewood. And Dookie and them would always cut through Tywester, because the ice cream man, he'll turn around at Wheeler. He won't go to Rosewood and Root. So Dookie and them would come across Wheeler and come right on there by Leota's house. That'd be his last stop he'd make on call. And man, I cussed out that ice cream man and told Dookie and then Leota's doing on them, stop that, you know, I cussed them out, man. I said, they could hear me cussing coming down Carl. Carl Street wasn't even, it was a bunch, it was shells on the road. And I was throwing them shells out there because they hadn't concreted carved yet. And I was throwing them shells out there on the road, and I was telling Dookie and Leota's, tell that SOB, and they say, man, Boo mad. Anyway, make a long story short, after Miss Land told me Mama was out there, my mother was out there, Lillian was out there in the middle of the street, and I seen my mother. And she drove me in the house. Dookie and them and Leota's and them, they walked all the way in front of my house to hear my mother whoop my butt. And then the next day, you know, because my mother asked them, I didn't even know they was out there. My mother asked them, well, what y'all want? And since Dookie knew Mama closer than Leota's, so he had Dookie to ask, Miss Lee, can Boo come out and play? No, goddamn well, I could come out and play. And she said, hell no, he can't come out here and play. And then the next day, Leota's and Dookie said, oh, Mama, I ain't gonna do that no more. Please don't hit me no more, Mama, please. That was every word I said when I was catching a whooping. Leota's and Dookie knew all the words. Mama, I ain't gonna do it no more, Mama, please, 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 Mama, please, Mama. Just like the time we was at the choir.